Hi, this is Kevin Davey of KJ Trading Systems, and welcome to a 5-part video series of how to trade like a champion. Just to give you some background on myself, I've been a futures trader for about 19 years now, and for 3 years in a row, from 2005 to 2007, I came in either first or second in a real-time, real money, year-long trading contest. Each of those years I had over 100% return. So that's where the title of this video series comes from, because these are the same steps that I used to become a successful trader, and I'll show you how you can use them. Well, first, a disclaimer: you should pause and take some time to read this, because there are significant risks in trading futures, and whenever you see hypothetical results, you have to realize that they may not work in the future. And finally, all account decisions should be your own. So what are the 5 steps to trade like a champion? We'll go through each of these in this video series, but basically you have to have a written plan, you have to find a strategy, you have to check and double check what you're doing, you have to execute the strategy, and then you have to monitor and adjust. And all of these are important whether you're creating your own system or you're following an advisor. Okay, step 2 in how to trade like a champ is to actually find a strategy. It's a little bit harder than you might think. There's really 3 basic keys to finding a good strategy. First, you have to have a skill assessment on yourself. 2, you have to do research. And 3, you have to do detailed development. Now, most people, when they're developing a trading system or looking for a trading system to trade through an advisor or subscription service, they jump right to the 3rd point and just go right into the details. And that's the wrong thing to do. You really have to get a foundation first with the first 2 points before you jump into the details. So how did I do it? Well, first, I went through a skill assessment. I looked at what I could do good and what I couldn't do good. Things I were good at were attention to detail, a quality focus. I can program somewhat. So I knew I could build strategies with existing software that was out there. So I was able to build systems to my strengths and use my skills. The second step is research. I did a lot of research on what trading systems worked and didn't work, and for me, a lot of the times I found what worked was long-term trend following, and I knew to avoid things like day trading with little red and green signals that you've probably seen on infomercials, where buy if it's green, sell if it's red. My research showed that that didn't work. And third, the detailed development. I actually sat down and developed a strategy that I felt comfortable with. And that's a key, whether you're developing your own strategy or trying to follow someone else's. You have to do something that you feel comfortable doing. So here's an example with an E-mini S&P system that I developed on my own. For the details, the first thing I did was determine the basic system. This one happened to be based on the opening range, a breakout of the opening range, and it's a trend following system. Second, once you have the basic idea, then you put some indicators to it, or price action patterns, and I did that with some breakout and momentum confirmations. Then you go through and you optimize the results. The trick here is to optimize and get a good range without over optimizing or curve fitting, because then what you do in the past won't work in the future, and a lot of people fall into that trap. Then the next step that I used was to actually do walk forward testing, which is considered probably the best way to do things. It's not a sample test. And then the final thing I always do is a Monte Carlo testing, which is introduces some randomness into the trading results and gives you a better idea of what it will do going forward. And then what I did was I put it all together. I took the entry along with some different exit points and combined it into a system and created a fully automated mini S&P system. So that's how I did it. How can you do it? Well, The first question to ask is when you do your skill assessment is, can you even develop your own system? It's very tricky. There's a lot of pitfalls to it. So you might want to, instead of develop your own system, you might want to find somebody that offers a system, offers signals. On the flip side, you might not be able to follow an advisor. Maybe you're always overruling whatever newsletter or subscription service you've ever used. Then that might not be a good thing either. Second point is to do research. Read books, go to seminars, read trading magazines, and just see what's out there and see what is possible and see what some of the experts in the field are saying. That'll give you a lot of indication of how you can find your own strategy. And the last point is to do the detailed development. So just learn about the systems you might want to trade. So for example, if they're trend following systems, learn the pros and cons of trend following. Trend following doesn't always work, but when it does work, it works well. Maybe you want a counter trend. The key is to really find out about any kind of technique that you want to trade with. So that's basically step 2 in the How to Trade Like a Champion series. Please visit my website, kjtradingsystems.com, and check back for the 3rd video in this series. Thanks.